It is Percocet Productions here, and today we are going to be ranking the Red Dead Redemption 2 rifles/repeaters.
No, there's 9 of them, and I think we'll get through them fairly quickly because there's not really a lot to be said on them, mostly just based on personal use and stuff like that.
And a repeater is pretty much a repeater, and that's all this list is our personal preference.
And I'm Jason.
And I'm Ethan, and we'll get right into it. So for my number 9, I put the carbine repeater. Basically, the first repeater you get, kind of poo-poo caca, not very good. There's not much else to say about it. It's just blah.
Yeah, I totally can get that. But I'll go with my number 9. I got the Carcano rifle.
Really?
Yeah, that is my least favorite. It's good. I just never used it, to be honest. I remember getting it in like chapter 3 or 4. It was one of those two, and I just for some reason I never really got into it.
Understandable. It was mostly a sniper, like if you didn't really
Yeah.
snipe, it wasn't worth
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Like, yeah, I really wasn't sold on snipers in this game. I never really used them. So I just had it there.
Okay. Number 8 for me, I actually did the Evans repeater.
Okay.
I know the Evans repeater is like one of the later ones you unlock and all this, but by the time I unlocked it, I never used it because I was already set up with the one I had, and I liked the one I had. That's later on down this list. Like I actually enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
I just kind of thought it was pointless. It wasn't much use for me to use it when I had one that I thought, that I thought was better, and it just was better for me.
Right. Now my number 8 is actually the carbon rifle, carbon repeater. I'm sorry. Like you said, it is a bit iconic. I think it's really good. Like, I have really nothing bad to say about it, but like, it's just your early one, and I did enjoy still using it. But yeah, it ranks number 8 for me.
So number 7, I actually did the Springfield rifle. I wasn't much of a fan of it. It was, it was basically like a sniper, air quotes. But
Mm,
compared to the other ones, it was like the first one you unlocked, I think, and it just wasn't really that good. It was kind of slow, and it was not really the best.
yeah.
There's not much to really say about these besides like it was just it just wasn't up to par with the other ones. I think there were some that I preferred more.
Right. Yeah. Now that was number 7.
Yeah.
Number 7. Okay. I'm gonna be honest. My number 7 is the rolling block rifle.
Okay.
I like it. It's cool. It does a lot of damage. It's good for long distance, but it's just slow. It's just slow to use.
Right.
It doesn't pop me in any way, and from it being that slow, I'm like, not really fun for me to use.
So that leads us to number 6. I actually said the Lancaster repeater at number 6.
Okay.
I believe it was the second one you unlocked, or that you could unlock or buy, whatever it was. But again, like I might have used it for a little bit, and then I wasn't as into it. Like it wasn't my main, so I never really stuck with it.
My number 6 is actually the bolt action rifle.
Oh, no.
There's a clear bias in my list, I will say, and,
Mhm.
and I'll get into it later, but I prefer one thing over the other. They're very similar, but I do prefer one thing over the other, and the bolt action rifle lands here. It holds like 5 shots, good for long range, but there are so many other ones that are great for long range. But it does reload a bit faster, I will say that, but
Right.
not my favorite.
Okay. I can see. I understand that. And
Top
I can see the
5.
bias. So for me, number 5, I actually said the varmint rifle.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't all that powerful. It was a 22 caliber, but it was nice for hunting. If you were into hunting in the game, which honestly I was not that into it, but it
Yeah.
was nice because it protected the pelts. You had to make a good shot, but it didn't like obliterate it like a shotgun would and ruin the quality of the pelt. The whole point of the varmint rifle was to hunt varmints, which are animals.
Yeah.
So it did its job. It was cool that they put it in there. Like it was cool for the people that like to hunt. But for me, I didn't use it that often. But I can see the practicality of it, and I did use it every now and then when I did go hunting. But that was about all. I didn't use it for any actual gunfights because it wasn't worth it.
Yeah. My number 5, top 5, is the Springfield rifle.
Okay.
I don't think I ever really used this gun, and maybe that's why I put it so low. I did not really end up buying it through my playthrough. It looks cool. I'll give it that. High damage, very slow reloading again. And I just have a bias against rifles, if I'm being honest. So this is where this one lands.
Yeah, I can tell.
My
So
whole list was just anti-rifle.
so that takes us to number 4, and for me, number 4 had to be the rolling block rifle.
Yeah. Okay.
I will say fantastic name. Just the name of it, rolling block rifle. It sounds so fucking cool. It was cool to use. You know, it was basically a sniper. I mean, it wasn't the best sniper in my opinion, but I definitely, enjoyed using it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. My number 4 is actually the varmint rifle. I did go hunting a lot in Red Dead 2. For some reason, it was like my favorite thing to do. It was like one of those pastimes where you can just like, I don't know, it really made you feel immersed when you were going hunting in
Right.
Red Dead 2. So I would use the varmint rifle quite often there. But my favorite rifle, honestly, due to that fact, and I just loved the way it sounded, to be honest.
Okay. I can understand that. Different strokes for different folks.
Right.
For my number 3, I actually did the Carcano rifle.
Okay.
I loved the Carcano rifle. I think it was my favorite sniper. Well, sniper, I will say. I mean, it was pretty neat to use. You know, this thing was a monster. It had high damage and it was a long shot. You know, you could really pick people off from anywhere you wanted. If you just wanted to go on like a killing spree, you could sit on a roof and just pop everybody you saw. But
Yeah.
I mean, it was probably the best sniper rifle in the group.
Yeah. Yeah. My number 4 is actually the Evans repeater. When I was playing the game, this gun did not exist. It only came out with Red Dead Online, and then it got added into the story afterwards, I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure. So I did not have a lot of experience using it, but from what I did see, that it was a very good repeater, and a very fun gun to use. So my ranking for this gun here is just based on what I seen from it online, and I seen that it can mow.
Okay. So for my number 2, I actually said the bolt action rifle.
Okay.
I personally love bolt action in real life. I mean, I think it's sexy, and the thing was a killer. I mean, the damage was insane, and there was no scope, which was nice. I mean, I didn't want it to have a scope. I enjoyed using it just as like a regular rifle. It was a little slower, but just personally for me, I enjoyed it because you just put a hole in anybody's chest. They weren't getting back up from one shot from this thing.
Yeah. My number 2 is it's a repeater, I'll tell you that much. It's the Litchfield repeater. The worst accuracy, like I feel like from all the repeaters, honestly. But I will be honest, this 44 caliber rifle is really fun to use. It does a lot of damage, a lot of damage. And it really holds its own, and it's something different than um the other repeaters that you get in the game.
How did that go, Jason? Rifle, rifle,
Rifle.
rifle.
This 44 caliber rifle.
So that's
Rifle.
gonna take us to number 1, and my number 1 is the one that you kind of just shit on. It's the Litchfield repeater.
I gave it number 2.
Yeah, but you weren't very fond of it. Um,
Yeah.
Basically, I always used it. I mean, it was my go-to gun once I unlocked it. The damage was why I liked it, and the fact it was a repeater. I mean, the thing was my go-to gun, and it was a monster
Bro, repeaters are just better. Repeaters are just better.
in
Um
some aspects.
my number 1 is actually the Lancaster repeater. By far the best repeater in the game. This was my go-to. I bought it from a gunsmith I remember in the game. And it's a very good rate of fire. But I mean, honestly, like I don't feel like there's any gun, any rifle or repeater that is really like stand out that you can say like, oh, 100% this one is the best one. I just think it's whatever you'd like to use really at the end of the
Right.
day.
And that honestly, that's the nice thing about Red Dead. It really comes down to personal preference for everything. A
The,
gun is a gun in Red Dead.
yeah, the
I
guns
mean,
were pretty balanced.
it does all the same shit. It's just whatever you prefer to use.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely a very different list.
Yeah, for sure. But that makes sense. But anyway,
Oh, yeah.
guys, if you enjoyed that video, check out any of our other videos, and we'll catch you later.
Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy what you see, and we'll keep cranking out some videos.